the meeting to order. The first thing is the minutes from December 8th. I move we accept.
Second.
All those in favor? Thank you. Okay, Andrew, we'll let you go. What excitement do you have since we all met back here on whatever day that was? The 15th or something?
December, yeah, whatever day it was, you're right.
Yes.
I think it was really good to walk through that with Wade. And, he made a lot of offers on having a guy or two, or I think at some point he even said he would come down and do something just to wrap it up. Whether or not he was going to tie a price to any of those offers, or if he was just going to come do some, finalized work for a day or a half day and take care of it all at once, and whatever it is, I'm not sure. We spoke briefly after, right before I left, Chris, you, Steve, and I spoke about maybe weighing the priority thing, for what his offers had been, or things that we really feel need to be done before they're completely washing their hands clean of the site. And I also, did you get any further quotes or responses from Quality Installation?
I haven't reached out to them. I don't know if your phone's farther away from you, but you're a little hard to hear. But I haven't reached out to Quality because I was trying to get the Ruffin electrical information, which I haven't heard back from Ed Garnier yet. We heard from Du Bois, but I mean, obviously they quoted the whole kit and caboodle because they really don't want to piecemeal it by impression. So.
Well, I asked him about it, and he said they won't do that, but they don't want to guarantee his work just for insurance purposes. So
how's the volume? I'm speaking directly in the microphone now.
You don't buy that?
What's that, Andrew? I can't hear you very well.
Yeah, it's still very difficult.
Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm going to turn the Bluetooth off and see if it is better.
Disconnected.
How's this?
Oh, yeah. Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, so it was the Bluetooth was doing something weird with my microphone to my headset.
Yeah.
But that's okay. All right. Perfect. So I'll start over. So we had walked the site with Wade. I think that was really helpful. He made some offers on things that he could come down or have a guy come down and wrap up some of the work that we identified going through. I don't know if he was planning on tying a price to any of those offers, or if he was just going to take care of these final things and wash their hands of this phase. We'll probably want to follow up to him with a list of things that we really want done now. And then, everything else we can parking lot for phase 2 or future work or any sort of donated work that could happen in between. I know there was a lot of questions around the insulation. He had offered to bring down I don't remember exactly the name he called it, but it's basically a spray foam insulation to pack in those cavities above each of the windows where the transom panel is. And again, that was one of the offers where he wasn't really clear on if you would be paying for that service or if he was just going to take care of it. But he did offer to come down with a couple of those spray packs and fill in above the windows. So that would obviously matter because that impacts any sort of potential insulating quote. Because that would take that out of the scope of whatever insulator comes in. I think as far as our priorities go, roughing in electrical and insulating are probably the two highest, with electrical maybe being slightly lower than insulating. Insulating has a good return on investment for you guys. If you, God forbid, take 10 years to start up phase 2, the 10 years of the building being insulated and heating costs over the winter, are going to be a great benefit versus it not being insulated. So I think that that's a priority for the position that we're in now. And then obviously roughing and electrical is easier to do before the insulation is installed. However, it is possible to do it after insulation, especially if rock wool is the insulation that we go with. It's a very rigid insulation and can be taken out of cavities easily, have lines run and put back up. Fiberglass is a lot more difficult, and then a spray foam would be impossible. Well, almost impossible. Wade seemed to think there was a way he could do it if it was spray foamed, but I would think that creates a lot more work.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
as far as priorities go, those are the two big ones. When we were walking in the basement, we saw a lot of holes in the foundation where some bricks had fallen out. There were some cracks. I also noted that they cleaned up about 3/4 of the basement with all of those nails and loose, dangerous, rusty things sticking out of the ceiling and all of the floor joists from above. I was under the impression that they cleaned up that whole lower level. It seems like the far half where the bathrooms, I believe, used to be downstairs wasn't really touched. So there is kind of a danger element there, I guess. That's something that, maybe just a handyman could donate work, someone around town or something. So it's not necessarily a Nico Day item, but it's something that probably wants to be addressed sooner rather than later. If a kid breaks in or something next year, are you guys liable for that, kind of thing if they get hurt in a basement that has rusty nails? I don't know the answer to that. I'm just kind of talking out loud. And that was also something that Wade said that he had done or had a crew do. So if we want to call him on that and say that they need to finish that in the basement, I think there's some grounds to do that. Patching the foundation where there's holes, clear to the outside. Again, that could be a handyman item. It's not necessarily a Nico Day item. Somebody could just fill those holes with some mortar or something. It's not a permanent fix, but it's a patch fix to help with the quality of heating in that area. And then I really think that everything else was relatively in order. I questioned Wade about how they had fastened that roof, or sorry, the ceiling, the underside of the ceiling, where it was sagging, and they held it up on one side. And he said he was going to talk to Dave and get back to me on how they had done that and how they planned on it being secure for the long-term future. I haven't heard anything, but we'll reach back out to Wade eventually with a list of items and things, and we'll bring that back up. I don't think that's work that needs to be done in the short term, but that is an item of concern for the future. Obviously, the longer it sits, the less likely that I don't know if it's a temporary fix or if it's a permanent fix. I don't think it's a permanent fix because it seems like they just bolted a bunch of stuff to the ceiling to hold it in place for now. But I don't know what that means. And he said he was going to ask Dave about it, the guy that took over as site super near the very end. So we'll follow up on that as well.
Yeah. So I think that if you work on a list and then, of what we talked about with him, because I wrote some things down too, like the door jambs, and some of that door hardware was never finished installed and it was sitting there in boxes.
Yes, and the weather stripping
out.
too. Yeah,
Yes.
and Steve found the weather stripping in the corner. So yes, that is an item as well. Yeah, I do have a list of items that I wrote, and I know I was supposed to type that up and send it to you.
Hey, it was Christmas.
It was exactly. And I took the week off before Christmas, and then the office shuts down for after Christmas, so I was actually off for 2 weeks. And
yeah. So if we just work on that list together, and then we'll send it to Wade and say, what's your plan of attack? Because I'm sure they're going to say, well, whether they come down here now in the weather or whether they wait till it warms up a little bit. Not that it's bad inside that building with those Renais going, but so yeah, we'll work on that list and then send it back to him and say, what's your plan of attack? So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but I do think that was really helpful because I truly don't believe he'd ever really been inside there. On the day that he was down here for our, the bell tower, I don't think he really spent any time inside or came back afterwards because he's, probably has so many other irons in the fire. He really,
Right.
I don't think he really even knew where or what was going on inside there. So,
Yeah, and all the stuff that they had going on, near the end with Nate leaving and not really knowing who to replace him with, and also it
yes,
was kind of close to. I mean, I understand that it was probably difficult for him. I don't think that you guys necessarily got poor service, other than the fact that it was a project that was closing out, and they were short a super, and it's kind of difficult at that phase to pull
yeah,
someone else in who hadn't worked on the project for 3 years.
yeah,
So I get. I mean, his lack of responsiveness on certain items. He's a busy man, but still he's a businessman. So
yes, yeah.
that's one thing. But I do think that he would be a man of his word with some of the items that he was talking about fixing up and taking care of before they close out phase one. I think it's totally reasonable. So
Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah. I think so. I think it went well, and I think you know, he was very accommodating. So, yeah. So we'll work on that list, and I think that then you and I can get that off to him and say, where do we want to go from here? So, yeah. But
yeah,
other than
and
that,
I think the big things I mean, like I said, the big things that we should worry about from a larger perspective is insulation or rough in, but that doesn't necessarily have to be Nick O'Day. I think the things
yes,
that he should clarify or offer to close out would be, I think that if they patch the holes in the foundation and spray in those transom things, and maybe they price the rough in of electrical. The installation is going to be a bigger scope, and if you're chasing down quality or something for a good quote, then maybe we just keep that out of their court. But anyways, oh, and the weather stripping, that's important too.
yeah. And that basement door that isn't square. So the door into the basement area from the outside, because it's kind of, Steve Brown had a hard time opening and closing it because it hadn't
Oh,
been squared.
it's not
Yeah,
hung in the frame properly.
yes, exactly. So,
Interesting. Oh, okay, I didn't notice that. Steve must
yeah,
have noticed it before I got around the back there.
yes. Yeah, so we'll add that to the list.
Okay.
So,
Yep.
I have a question. What about the plastic paper wrap around before the insulation? Is that going to be difficult to do?
Well, it is my opinion that it would be difficult to do. However, I'm not an installer, and so my knowledge is a little bit less proficient once it comes to the actual install of things. Wade said on site that he had a way to do it, so I can take his word for that for now. I questioned him on if that would be more labor intensive, because obviously we don't want to pay for a really intensive thing if there's another way to do it. And he said it wasn't. So I, for now, I have to take him at face value on that. But I think, I mean, logically to me, getting wrap and stapling it up behind the studs where you have no room for a staple gun, or in some places probably even a hand, doesn't seem to make sense to me. But that's just my gut check on that.
yeah, and I think that he was posing bringing it on the inside of the stud, having it dropped in behind, and then instead of stapling it to the back, it would be like in sections that it would be brought against the stud, from to the inside. I mean, as how I read him. So, when we were talking about it, but I mean, I could
Yeah, so
kind of
then he would
picture
be
when he was
doing.
talking about it. So, but
So if he would be wrapping, I mean, to me, it seems like the way that he was talking about it is that he would be wrapping the seams to the inside face of the stud, so not the
yes,
edge. But
yes,
then you're doing every bay, or maybe every other bay so that it's
Mhm.
easier.
Yeah,
And then you'll have gaps because I don't think, I mean, unless he taped all of the seams, you would have gaps in where the roll his roll is probably 4 feet wide, maybe 3 feet wide. You'd to me, again, I'm not the installer.
yeah.
To me, it just seems like a challenge. You're creating a lot of problems for yourself,
Oh,
and it
yeah, yeah.
doesn't seem like the best way to do it. But I'm more than happy. I mean, with all of the things that they've come to us with over the past couple of years, I'm more than happy to hear them out on something and decide if it's a logical way to go. So if he wants to propose something a little bit more concrete, like maybe
Yeah,
do a bay or two and show us, that's fine.
exactly. And quality might have, if we, eventually I get quality up here to do that walkthrough, have some input on that as well. They might be able to explain it
Yeah.
different or easier.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Yeah.
They must, I would think.
yeah. They must have dealt with it before and have a way that they go about doing it, since that's what they do all day long. So.
Did you get that letter from Paul yet about the choice of windows? In case we want to try again?
Andrew sent one.
Okay.
Yeah, I
So-
think I forwarded it to you as well, Larry.
Oh, okay.
I believe I did. I may not. I may have just sent it
If
to
not,
Chris.
well, that's all right. I probably didn't pay attention because I think it was after, right around Christmas time. So I'll
Okay.
look again and I'll
Okay.
forward it to you.
Great.
So you'll see it.
Just so we have it.
It'll be in your inbox again.
Okay.
So I'll look for that for you.
Yeah, I wrote basically a 1-page letter in support of an explanation of, and then I tagged in 3 diagrams that reference the older images of the building, including the original building, which burned down in 18 something. But
Yeah.
there's the 4 images there, and then an explanation. It sounds pretty good. Not to pat myself on the back, but
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you
It
very
was,
much.
no, it was a good letter. So
Thank
I
you.
thought that was good. So, so Steve, what were you saying about Du Bois and the electrical?
Well, he gave us a quote,
Yeah.
and he said when he was here, I asked him about, tying in Ed's work, and he said, they can't do that. Like somebody's work who they really
So,
find somebody who knows Ed.
if we let Ed do his work and then we have the code inspector inspect it and he signs off on it, would that give any benefit?
I'd have to talk to Richard, who's our code officer. I'd have to ask him, that. I'd have
Okay.
to check in with Richard about that.
Does Ed do stuff for the fire department?
I think, I'm pretty sure it was Doug West that did most of the fire
Yeah, he did.
department.
Doug is actually not doing it as a contractor anymore. He's gone to work for the boys. So
Right.
I called him first.
Yeah.
Yes.
The only thing he told me was that if Du Bois did do it, he might ask them if he could donate some of his time.
Doug said that?
Yeah, Doug said that.
Okay.
And
Because I had mentioned it to him, but he didn't offer that up.
he did to me at one point. So, I mean, that's something he said. I could ask them if I can donate my time while I'm working for them.
Because, obviously,
What did they quote for the whole thing? Du Bois.
the base proposal is just shy of 69,000. And then, and then
He put in a fire alarm system.
the fire alarm system, and then, if we want stamped electrical drawings is another. So anyway, adding those in there. So,
What was the original quote we had for electrical from somebody else?
let's see, is it in here? I don't know that we ever had one that was complete. Did we ever get one that was like complete from Carmel, or was it only just the getting in the CMP and the service? Andrew.
Well, they would have put a line item for electrical on the it might be on the requisition, to be honest.
Yeah,
They'll have the line item for electrical. However, it's probably not broken out into subcategories, so it would be hard to tell. That would be a total, and that may also include like you know, transformer and CMP into the building and everything. So it could be hard to gauge on that.
Yeah.
We could definitely ask Wade just for the original number.
So on this one that he had sent to us for the estimate for the remainder,
Yeah.
it was 86, and that included the fire alarm system.
That's pretty close to what the voids.
So is that 69 was without the 20,000?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's in the wheelhouse, I mean, essentially, no, the voice is more if you add all
Yeah,
those other
that's true.
things in
Yeah,
there.
yeah, it's
It's, you know,
21.
it's 100,000 with the voice, so when you add in the other things, so,
Yeah,
Um,
typically, having a construction administrator, you'll get slightly better prices. They tend
Yes.
to fight, have the subs kind of fight for a really competitive price versus
Yeah.
if you're going to acquire a solo quote for just a company to come do the work yourself. It tends to not be as competitive.
yes.
And they
Yeah,
definitely leverage relationships as well. Like I say, Nick O'Day was working with you said Carmel.
yes.
They could have them on another job where they're making a lot of money, and so they're okay like taking a lower price on this one. You tend to get better prices if you have a construction manager.
Yeah, and I think that Steve Burton's son-in-law or something like that, or he had some relation to Carmel Electric too. So from what
yeah.
I recall, but everybody knows everybody in that business.
Right.
But I do think that Steve Burton had some relation to it, from what I remember. So, but I think what I'll do now that we've gotten through the holidays is reach out to Quality, see if I can get them up here. The guy should be back from paternity leave, and get the guy that we had originally up here to go through it again with him and have that discussion. And that I'll try to, work with Steve Brown during the day to get them up here.
Where are
So
they from?
Quality is out of Falmouth or Yarmouth, something, I think Yarmouth, something like that. Falmouth or Yarmouth, one or the other. I'd have to look that up, but they've already been up here once. They're pretty much one of the biggest names, aren't they, out there in like
Yeah.
insulation? Yeah, so,
What about Brandon?
well, that's spray foam, so we
That's all
can't,
he does is
yeah,
spray
yeah.
foam?
yeah, so we can't use that option, so.
Unless we asked him about the windows doing the transits, if he would,
Well, and if that's like,
you know,
what is it, 6 spots that Nick O'Day, I think, I mean, I got the feeling he wasn't going to say, oh, here's another invoice, but I got the feeling that he thought those things should have been done. But I could be, wrong about that, but we'll find out, if he gives us another invoice afterwards, but
Yeah, I was under the same. It seemed as though with his wording and that he was willing to basically write off a day to finish up some
yes,
work that he deemed needing to be done.
yes,
Um,
yeah.
But again, it's also not great to assume that because then you don't want to get slapped
That's
with an
right.
invoice.
That's
So,
right.
Driving down from Bangor,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
But, you know, they pretty much, I think that, excuse me, he thought that they were finished. But once he went in there and saw some of the things that hadn't been done, I think he realized they weren't finished with, especially, you know, the weather stripping and the doors and things that hadn't been completed. So,
yeah, that should absolutely be taken care of, without an invoice. And then from a business perspective, if you've got a guy or two down there already to take care of the other things
yes,
makes a lot more sense rather than having somebody drive down and spend an hour there and then drive back. It just doesn't make a lot of
Yes.
sense.
yeah, exactly. So, but, you know, once we put that list together and send it to him and say, here's what we discussed, how do we want to move forward, and what's the dollars and cents of it? So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm happy to put together what I have, and I know you had some items yourself, Chris, and I think Steve had mentioned some. I wasn't aware. I didn't notice the door being
Yes.
hung wrong or not properly, I guess.
Yeah, yep. So we can, that's why, you know, I think that once I see, you know, your list, I'll call Steve Brown and run through it with him and say, is this what we talked about? Do you want to add anything? And then we'll have a meeting of the minds on that and share it and then send it off to Wade.
Yeah.
So, all right. Is there anything else exciting?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either. I think that, you know, I was happy that we had that meeting and it was definitely, you know, worth it. So for sure.
Yes. Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Andrew. Happy New Year.
Yes, thank you.
You are very welcome. Happy New Year.
And so now we'll just finish up with our fun stuff if you want to hang around or.
Bye-bye.
And, or
Yeah.
you want to go have dinner, so.
Yeah. I am quite hungry. I do want to say that Jacob sent you an invoice today, but I
Yes.
did tell you in the December meeting that we were going to donate some time at the end of the year as a Christmas present. So don't sign off on that invoice. I'm going to probably shave a couple $100 off of it for you. Okay.
So we
Okay.
can use that for in-kind donation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I'll let you, I'll talk to him tomorrow. I didn't notice it before I left the office. I'll talk to him tomorrow. And then if you can get a quorum email vote, is that
Yes.
legal for you? Okay.
Yep,
So
we can do
great.
that for sure.
Okay, great.
All right. Thank you,
All right.
Andrew.
Have a good night, everybody.
dinner.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, so, one of the things that Steve Eldridge and I found out is that if we did something with Olympia Snow, in-kind donations,
Susan Call.
or they saying Olympia Snow. Back in time. I'm like, sorry,
Well, I
I'm sundowning.
heard of Baldacci's going to be running for.
Yeah, we're just going back in time. So anyway, no, Susan's Collins. The money has to be cash money in the bank, ready to roll as the matching funds.
25%.
25%.
In-kind donation.
Not for federally directed funds. So that doesn't work that way. We had a nice meeting.
I thought we had a
with
good
him.
meeting.
Yeah, yeah,
Very good, because he came in, I think, to the meeting thinking it was a completely
yeah,
different project. or something.
exactly.
He emailed me, so I was like, you need to really understand what.
Yeah, exactly. And then he came up and we took him in the building and everything. So he got a sense for it and realized it was, you know, a municipal project, which they are open to, for sure. I mean, he thought it was something, you know, restoring a historic building that is just privately owned, which, no, that's not the case, so.
Is that gonna be true with the $10 million bond that the state has for our
No,
matching
it's
on
not
that?
totally separate. I would
I
just.
mean, but we could use in-kind donations there, or
No,
Yeah.
we can't, okay.
Yeah, so, I mean, one of the things that I also wanted to have a discussion about is having a warrant article again for the heating of the building. Whether or not we can vote it down or not, I think we do need to ask because if we don't ask, people are gonna think that we've given up and aren't gonna
Right.
say anything.
Yeah.
And the more money we use from our donations and out of our kitty is less money that we have to count as in-kind, or matching funds. So I don't want to keep spending the money, that people have donated to get
Have
the
something
building
done.
finished.
Right.
So to pay for propane. So that's why, for me, I think we do need to have a warrant article. And we need to do some, marketing and discussion about it and try to get people to understand that we're asking for this to maintain the building we've already invested. Not that I haven't said it 6 ways from Sunday, but we'll say it again. So, I mean, what do you think about that? I mean, I hate to spend the money to
Yep,
keep coming out of our kitty. So,
we need to do it.
We
yeah,
need to keep trying.
yeah, we need to keep asking.
do you think it's pertinent to ask for matching funds for a certain X number of dollars? Instead of eating up what we have, what are your thoughts on that? Ask the public for.
Well, I think we're gonna have to probably end up asking for that once we know what the percentages are, like for
Well, how much we need.
historic, yeah, and how much we need. I think we're gonna end up having to ask for that unless,
Well, the application, I'm sure, will ask what we're looking for.
yes,
So you need to decide if we
Yeah.
have what we have currently in the bank,
yeah,
what would that get us?
exactly, not a lot.
No,
And if we only have one bite of this apple before the 10 million is gone, we're gonna
Yeah.
have to,
you're only gonna get one bite.
You
yeah.
can put it on the warrant.
Yes, we'd have to put it on the warrant, because it's matching funds, we'd have to.
Yeah.
And do a lot of,
I don't know if you have to use that funding to ask for it. I don't think you need to ask if we can spend that money that was donated,
no,
because that was for a specific
exactly,
reason.
for a specific reason. But if we were going to
Ask the public.
ask the public for more, because if we only have, $30,000 in there, then
Yeah, you're not gonna get much money.
10% or whatever, then we're only getting 300,000, which is not what we need. So, that's why we have to, I want to try to, I want the insulation done because I think that that's really important.
Yeah.
Because it will help with the,
But
Propane
right, if
costs.
you're gonna ask for money
So-
for heat, you better have the building insulated.
yeah. And so those are all the things that, in my mind, I keep weighing about, well, the more money we keep spending, the less
The less-
money we have.
Right.
Yeah.
So to use as matching funds. And then once we know what we're asking for, if we need to come up with the matching funds, if we're awarded it and we need to have the matching funds after the fact, as opposed to like with Susan College, before you even ask, you have to have the matching funds sitting there.
Yeah.
But, whether or not the 10 million for the historic preservation bond
Is the same way.
is the same way.
Have you heard from Randy Greenwood at
Steve
the,
sent him an email today
This is the
saying,
third email I've sent to Randy and to Craig,
Craig.
and I haven't got a response. And I was online today going through the legislative
yeah,
list, the calendar, and I don't see it there. So either it's been approved and we're not gonna have to worry about it, or where is it?
where is it? Because they just went back, last week?
Yeah, and it's
of
not
course it was
any of the
a crazy
that
mess. So,
committee, the education and Culture, that's the committee that approved it.
Yeah,
And I thought for sure they'd come back with something, but I haven't seen it.
yeah.
So,
And I've got Randy's phone's number, so I can text him and say, can you tell us where this is in
Yeah.
process?
That
So,
may be
Or
what
like
you have to do.
respond to an email.
yeah,
You
Yeah.
know where we are with the meeting our 2% goal
our 2% goal.
with our warrant,
Oh, with our
not
one.
raising the taxes.
I laughed when that was asked for, so,
Well, I talked to Justin today and he said in order to meet the 5% salary
Yes.
increase,
yeah,
he would have to cut the police officer position
Yeah.
and a town office position.
exactly.
are you kidding?
Yeah, because, I mean,
You don't have enough police already.
no, I know. So because we're in a contract with the union and the salaries are going up per the contract, that increase was 5%. But the directive from some of the select board members was only a 2% increase in the budget. So how is that possible? It's not. If you already you already have a 5% increase in the salary,
You've got
then you
a,
need to cut
contract.
other things because you're committed to that contract. So then you'll have to cut other things to make that goal. And that's why I said, why are we asking for only a 2% increase? I said it.
You're sitting here saying that, yes.
And I said, it's not possible. We need to at least say, yeah. So we know we're gonna have an increase, but it's 5%. I can't tell you, the math doesn't work in my head. So,
And he thinks we can save 100,000 at the transfer station with some, doing away with the demo.
yeah,
You're
So
gonna have
what
to
would
take your
people
mattress.
do?
What?
What would people do without demo?
They would have to take it wherever it would lay down to,
Which is somebody's
Yeah.
woodlot. They'll drive into somebody's woodlot and
Exactly.
drop it off.
exactly.
their king mattress.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's crazy.
Anyway.
So,
I think,
but
you need to look at your overall budget increases and what you're gonna do and what your revenue sharing is gonna be coming in at.
yeah,
And the school's gotta keep their budget down. This is nonsense.
But they're stuck with the same thing that we are with a contract.
They have contracts, they have to, unfortunately, it
That's
costs
all.
money to educate your children around town.
yes.
It's-
Oh, gosh. So,
Everything's personnel heavy.
yeah,
The
Exactly.
schools really. And
Yeah.
and even the town,
yeah.
You think the town is personnel heavy?
Justin thinks so.
I believe in the office, yes, I do.
So it's, it's pretty,
Not on the police force though.
yeah, it's not an easy thing.
Are you still farming out your finances?
Hmm.
To an accounting firm?
Yeah.
What's that cost a year?
Well, the problem, I think one of the big reasons we decided we needed to do that was because the person that did, so it got done, and that the person
Yeah,
that
you can't
didn't,
find anybody.
well, and that the person that was doing it, if she was in the office, if she was on vacation for 2 weeks, nothing got done or paid. So, that was a problem. Plus it helped with separation of duties. That was the other big thing, so. Yeah. Yep, so, anywho, so we did get a lot of really good information from Susan Collins as the representative and figured out that. And then Steve's been in contact with Northern Borders and
They don't seem to want to respond. I'm really frustrated with them.
because she did answer your email, what was it, yesterday, saying this is the guideline?
I didn't get.
Yeah. Yeah, she responded yesterday about that.
I was going through emails today.
So.
When did
let's
she
see.
send it?
Sarah Demers, no, she sent it Friday. It was Friday. and it was addressed to you, so it's
Nice.
your S Eldridge
Boardroom.
9524
Oh, that's my
Gmail.
Gmail account.
Yeah.
Could you please check them all? Come
I
on.
do, I check every day, believe me.
So she said, thank you for reaching out regarding your interest. Please fill out and email a copy of your project interest form. Once I have that form in hand, you can use the link in my signature to schedule a meeting to discuss your project, and I will provide tips for ensuring a competitive and compelling application. Please note that Maine rarely selects community centers as project finalists, and those that are successful are able to demonstrate how their project supports workforce and or business development. Step 2, access project relevance. You will find a link to Maine's economic development strategy. We have fund projects that advance the 7 strategies and related actions. So Sarah Demers, yes, she answered that Friday, the 9th. I know, but I can forward it. I can forward this to you. Where do you want me to?
Send it to my Roadrunner. Doesn't make any difference. I get both and I check them on a regular basis. That's so strange and I did not get that. I don't see it.
Do you want,
Wait, here it is.
you got it?
Yeah, Sarah
Okay.
Demers. Okay. All right, I'll
Yeah.
respond to that. It's my job for tomorrow. I also have an application waiting to go out from one foundation, Fisher Foundation.
Mhm.
And Susan Collins, I have the application with last year's application, so he seemed to imply that there was gonna be an opportunity to do that. And I also have King's
Mhm.
site.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we both have to. Several of the groups we done spent through last year, the year before, aren't accepting any applications.
Yeah.
The big fund people.
Exactly.
How far they
They're
go.
not taking any?
It's not taking any. They keep telling you to check back, which I've done every 6 months, and every 6 months it's, they've got some big projects I think they're doing or something, but just keep banging on the doors.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
What about Stephen King Foundation?
We have to wait a year,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
but we've asked for 2 years in a row, and they asked me to,
Back off.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Quite nice about it, but
But
have to be a pain in the ass.
You do. It's like squeaky.
There's another
We have-
foundation,
no.
Viles Foundation. which is-
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
which
something like
I'm
that.
working-
Elsie Biles.
Yeah, yeah. I'll send something out to them.
yeah. Yeah.
Stephen King is scary.
I might let you use it in a book if you give us enough.
I don't know how much he actually sees.
No,
It goes down to the firm down in Portland.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So, for Andrew, for Paul Designs, I'll email you his invoice after Andrew updates it. It was for $575. It was for Paul's time and Andrew's time coming up, doing our walkthrough with them, which I did find the date. It was the 17th of December. So, but I'll send it to you, tomorrow.
Question on the Fabian one. Are we voting on the Fabian one?
Yes.
I have a question. Why would we have gotten a delivery on the 9th and again 4 days later on the 13th of propane? Why wasn't it all done at the same time? Because the pricing, it was on the 9th, it
Well,
was,
one of these is
One-
ours. I see
Okay.
859 Main Street. That is not,
nope, these are both 115 Academy Road
oh, one,
for propane.
There's one for 1213.
Yeah, 1213 was for 105.4 gallons at 166.9 a gallon. But on the 9th, it was delivery of 96.9 gallons with a price of 161. Granted, not a lot, but I mean, why 2 deliveries 5 days apart? I guess. Or are they just dumping, oh, I have this many gallons left, I've got to get rid of it, I'll go dump it there? Which is what sometimes they do.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
Yeah, and I
You might
just,
just have to empty the truck before it
yeah,
gets back.
yeah, so, ooh, I'll go here.
Yeah.
After
With the
having,
phone full.
yeah, after having an oil business, I do know that, trucks do that.
Yeah.
And it always used to be my house, the dumping ground. Oh, we'll go deliver it there. Oh, okay, there you go. We still had to pay for it.
Before we get off the funding thing,
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
is rural development is another outlet. It's federal fund. You need 25% match for that, but part of it's usually a grant. Might even be a 50%, but it's a grant, possibly loan. Do you mind if I sit down with Justin and talk about that with him?
Of course. Whatever avenues we need to explore.
Okay, whatever you need to do.
Is it low interest loan or?
Yeah, it's low interest, whatever that happens. It just.
Hmm.
The federal government. Plus some money.
So do we have to vote on the Fabian one?
Yes, but I didn't total this up and I just noticed that there's one for 859 Main Street, which of course is not us. So,
That was up at the top, the 427.93, yeah.
well, that, and then there's another one on the 11th of December that says 859 Main Street. So,
You're right.
yeah,
Who is that? That's the town office?
that's the town office. So, ours would be
175.
because I said, geez, and why is there so much on that day? And it's this, only 3
Yeah.
days later. So,
It's the 156.88
yeah, I was just gonna.
and the 175.91.
Where's my calculator? So we did have a real number here since this number isn't correct. So 156,
332,
86.
Is that an 86 or
I think
88?
it's 8, I don't know. I don't know if it's 88 or
I think
86.
it's 88.
It is.
Okay, 88.
Yeah.
Even with my glasses on, numbers aren't my friends.
And 175.91.
And then there was one on the back. I did front to back printing because it saves paper. I go through so much paper.
And it was, so we got another delivery.
1711. I think they come essentially every week. Essentially, they do come every week. So our total would be, according to my calculations, 649.90. According to my calculations. So. It's 49.90. I have a motion.
I'll make a motion. Maybe in building.
All those in favor? Thank you. And, those are all the invoices, but I'll email you information on,
23 days, we $520.
that's when it was so
Okay.
cold. One of the things that I am going to do is and normally I have pieces of 2-inch foam insulation hanging around, but I used a bunch of it. So I am going to go get a piece of foam insulation to cut, to go and take in there and put on the second floor where the chimney hole was, because like Steve said, those are pneumonia holes. That heat is like going up into the second floor, and then cover the ladder that goes up there. So that's one of the things that's on my to-do list Steve Brown mentioned when we were in there that day, but that would help keep the warm air down on the first floor, not going up into that second floor. So
You can do that.
I can cut a piece of 2-inch insulation and if I need a chaperone, Jeff will chaperone me going up there.
Please have a chaperone.
No, I won't go by myself. I'll make Jeffrey ride up the street with me, so.
It won't hurt the bricks upstairs.
No, it's just a matter of covering up so the heat's staying on the first floor
Okay.
because that second floor, the main thing is, what we've got going on downstairs, but
Yeah.
I'd rather keep the heat
Yep, no,
down
no.
there. Hi, Mike, how are you?
don't want to interrupt.
No, that's all right. Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
so just want to say, hey,
I thought I heard voices somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is a
You're
new
hearing
information.
it is.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's folks in this room that I haven't met before.
You haven't met me before.
I'm Mike Griswold. It's before me.
Steve Eldridge.
Steve, yes, okay. I've heard that name a lot in very positive ways.
Very nicely done.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Welcome aboard.
yeah, I appreciate it. And it's been great. We've been, again, don't want to take away from any of your time and space here. Just trying to cover all things at this moment for Acton. Right now, we have a lot of sites just on the summer and the beach and just everything that we want to
Good.
tackle and make it as best as we can. So,
Yeah,
Yes.
cool. And I do want to learn more about where everything's going
well,
with this. So.
yeah, well,
Write a check, we'll tell you.
Exactly. We're just waiting for, the next millionaire to fall into our lap, but
Sure. Well, cool. Well, I'll look out for
Yeah.
summary if there's anything I can do to help and
exactly,
support.
exactly, yeah.
So, cool. Well, I'm headed over to the school. I know I have a rec practices going on. So between my coaching and Winthrop at the same age level for my kids, I don't always get the chance to sneak over. It just works out tonight to do so. So I'm ready. We'll have a great meeting.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. We'll see you around town.
Yes,
You.
and the other thing, I didn't bring it up because I forgot all about it. This, you saw it, but this is the framed signature of O.O. Howard and picture,
Oh, yeah.
and then the write-up. And Wade did most of the research on that and all of that, so it's got a really
Yes,
nice.
Very nice.
Letter and his original signature and just information about him. So since this wasn't the sword, I felt okay taking it and putting it hidden in a closet at my house, so it's out of, the way, but if it had been something bigger and all
Where's
of
the
that.
sword gone
Well, there,
at the university?
I don't know. I know Carlton Ward, the president of Nickerson and O'Day, has a sword of his, because he
Really?
told us at that meeting. So that's what we were hoping for, but maybe at some point, if it's finished, we will get that, but I'll
Maybe.
keep lobbying, but we'll see what happens. But in the meantime, we have this. So, and I think I'd like to, for the next article, at some point, work with Bobby on that, Revolutionary
Yes.
War connection, since we're at the 250th
Okay.
anniversary.
Simon Dearborn was at Bunker Hill.
Mhm. And that plus, lobbying and trying to put information together about the warrant article and why we need to serve the money we have. So those are the two things for like the next article in the Messenger. Steve was wonderful and helpful and wrote the article this time, but we only have 400 words, so I didn't want to try to cram everything in there,
No,
I would rather give the Revolutionary War information.
do it before we ask for more money.
Yeah, so, we've got that, and I tried, I sent Dennis those pictures, but I was, it's hard to take a picture of something in glass. So he just reused, one of the pictures I had sent him before from the
It'd
academy.
be nice to get the Sun Journal out here again. I mean, they need new articles. They just-
Oh my gosh, don't you just want to scream?
I wanna
I know.
scream.
It's terrible because what you read on Saturday is then in there on
On
Sunday.
Monday. And
Well,
Monday.
and it's there
And it's
in the
like it's
Portland
regurgitated.
paper too.
Yes, yes.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's all the
Both,
same.
it's
It's
like-
terrible.
Why bother?
Why? It's foolish.
It is foolish. And they wonder why they don't have much.
Right.
And I read it to laugh at it, That's what I read it for, because I'm like, what in the world are we even talking about? Right, so anything else that we need to, go over?
Well, I have
No.
one new subject here. Well, not new, it's kind of old, but
Yeah,
I want to throw it out again. I know I did and I wasn't well received, but a storybook statue that Carolyn, I can't remember her
yes.
last name.
yeah.
Dennis was telling me the other day that they're gonna be getting rid of those three little buildings, the little
Mhm.
sheds, because they need so much repair and they don't use them. He said they're gonna be gone. And I said, well, God, that's a perfect place for that storybook statue because it relates to the library, and the library is big on children's stuff.
Mhm.
And it would get it off of our plate because we're never gonna have the money to do that. I mean, we got,
Who's gonna pay for it?
well, there's a Friends of Cumston Hall and a Cumston Hall, Friends of the Library. And I can't remember which one, but Friends of Cumston Hall, don't you have like $250,000?
Not Cumston Hall, but the library.
The library
The
is
treasurer of the library.
250,000. I mean, it was 17,000 is what we were quoted by,
Colette.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking if they could get it over the Cumston Hall, it would be more appropriate because that's the art center. And it really doesn't go with the history of this, other than.
We're
it was-
talking about the white one?
Yeah,
Yeah, the one that's
The mud.
laying in the mud, and it's been laying in the mud
Yeah.
for what, 2 years, 3 years?
Longer than that.
Over there.
yeah.
Yeah,
So one of the things that we can put it on our agenda for the hall trustees meeting for February. Are you in agreement with that? Okay, so
I
we
mean,
can
it
talk
would
about
just
it
be
then.
nice there and it would be preserved. The artist is deceased now, so
Yeah, class of
like I told Dennis.
71. It was class of 71 that did it,
No,
1971.
Yeah.
Carolyn, and I can't think of her last name. I'll
I've
think of it
got
when I
the
get home.
information.
I've got it at home.
We've got a lot of that information with our emails
Yeah.
and we've gone back and
Yeah.
forth. So we'll put that on our,
Yeah.
discuss, sculpture.
And it looks nice that the tree's gone.
Oh, yes, yeah, Kevin Wing did that. I forget the day, but anyway, that maple is gone, and so that was wonderful. And, he was excited to go in the building and see it, and, I've got what he and his family wrote for what we'll do for
Oh,
a,
great.
plaque once we have the interior finished, so.
And that brings up one other
Yes.
quick little thing. Could you ask your sister Darlene if she would be willing to kind of like do maybe a book on this project? In other words, I think you have on Facebook a lot of the stuff like the bell tower and all that. And it wouldn't have to be an extensive book like what Rudy did, but maybe she could say like the committee that tried to decide what to do with the buildings, just briefly, and who was on that committee, like, Tim McDonald and the other people. And that, we were told by the state there was no way it could be converted into apartments. So just a brief, like maybe one page about that history, and then our steps of what we're doing. And if she could just keep that running, we could also use the people that donated money. We could list them as donors and things like that. And it would just be something that when the project is done, we would have a booklet that people could buy or they could have or whatever.
I'll talk with her about that and see, what she thinks and what she would,
Right,
think would work.
yeah. I'm thinking even a booklet,
Just a booklet, yeah.
Not a
Yeah.
big thing, but just something to document the whole process.
Yes.
And that might help with public relations too,
Yep, yep. So for select board reports, I'll just say that we'll take that information to ask for a warrant article again for Keith. So, and we'll bring that forward. And, but I haven't had any major fundraising come in, during Christmas, nobody's passing out money other than to themselves and their families. So I haven't had any big things come in at all. And then I think that we put some dates out there because Dennis was asking for what the dates would be for things. And I threw out there for the 9th of February.
A meeting?
Yes. How does that look for you folks?
That's fine.
Yep.
If I'm not here, I will Zoom. I will be
Okay.
available to Zoom. And it would be that I would be up north. Although Sugarloaf, their soup quad was down this week and it's not gonna be up running for another week because they had to send for something in Pennsylvania. So,
Is there anything going on doing the 250th anniversary related maybe to Monmouth and the Battle of Monmouth?
Well, the museum, Bob Roberts and Tyler Trott and I are gonna work on something with the youth in the town. Maybe documenting the veterans as well as the fact of Bunker Hill and the Battle of Monmouth. So we're gonna, and maybe do a booklet, but we're gonna do something like that. So we're hoping to have an activity. But we know of no other organization in town that's gonna do anything. And we'll be working maybe with the Sons of the American Revolution, maybe the Daughters of the American Revolution, and come up with some ideas. And one of the things, planting a Liberty tree, we could do that here on this grounds, if we could get people interested. There is a program where they're doing that.
Well, I have some information on the Battle of Monmouth, because I was born in Monmouth, born in Halston.
Oh, okay.
On New Jersey.
where are we going with this?
And,
I was born during the battle.
Yes,
oh,
not yet.
and the church I was baptized in was on their battlefield. It had cannonball holes in it. It was where it was a real hot, sticky New Jersey day. The days when they were fighting, and a lot of men collapsed from heat exhaustion. And that's where Molly Pitcher came and helped her husband. She took over
The cannon, okay.
and of course, I was baptized in the church. My parents were married in that church. Just a little place, and
We will contact you and use you as a source.
I have a booklet that it's Old Tenant Church,
Okay.
Presbyterian Church. They put out years ago.
Well, I will make sure that we get in touch with you, okay? And we'll do that. And then maybe we could have some kind of a thing here at the academy for Simon Dearborn, because he was at Bunker Hill.
Yeah,
So that would bring
yeah,
the academy some PR.
exactly. So,
Not the general.
No, not General Henry Dearborn, but his brother.
Okay.
His brother was there, and it's Simon Dearborn was one of the people who got the Monmouth Academy trustees started.
yeah,
So he
It
was
was really Breed's Hill, right? Not.
Yeah, well, you're right, it was. And that's something that the kids who working on the project will learn.
yeah,
And it was the Ken Burns thing on the American Revolution. Have you seen that?
I have not, but I got to.
yeah.
Teresa's in charge of the TV set, so I
Watched all.
We watched it all too. Yeah, yeah. I thought so. So, yeah, I think that if we have that information and try to let people know, where our
we could do
history all.
something here and maybe ring the bell.
Yeah,
on
exactly.
4th of July.
We can do that, can't
We
we?
can ring the
All
bell.
right.
Lori and I can ring the bell. So we're good at it. Oh, God.
We all set? I just have to scoot.
Yes.
I just want,
So,
Okay.
no, it's adjourned.
okay. All right. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Take your pick.
All right, 7:05.
Excellent.
Let me just stop this.
Oh, no.
Joe.
Hey, Joe. Joe always shows up for meetings. I don't know who he is.
Oh, you know who he is?
No, I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it's Joe Petrosky.
Maybe Joe O'Donnell, would it?
What about,
I just didn't know. I mean, that's the only Joe
What's
I
it?
know. Who's Joe Petrosky?
Joe Petrosky, he's one of the Kennebec County Commissioners.